The boy was only 10 years old when the sky exploded. His name was Keo. He was standing outside his school in Nairobi, waiting for his mother to pick him up. The sun was bright, the air warm. Then, without warning, everything changed. A thunder that didn't sound like thunder shook the sky. People looked up. Above Earth, space itself seemed to rip open. A long, glowing tear split the blue sky in half. Giant dark shapes poured through Italian warships, bigger than anything humans had ever built.
Oh.
Some were smooth and glowing like floating stones. Others were sharp, spiked, like flying beasts made of metal. They weren't human. They weren't here for peace. The first shot fired was not at Earth. It was from one alien fleet to the other. A blinding white beam shot from one ship and cut through the other's armada. The second fleet answered back with a barrage of plasma missiles. A dogfight of alien superweapons started right over Earth's skies. People ran, screamed, ducked for cover. But there was no cover from this. A burning chunk of wreckage part of a Vorax dreadnought fell from orbit like a meteor. It slammed into Tokyo Bay. The explosion created a wave so massive, it wiped out half the shoreline. Fires broke out. Earthquakes followed. The world watched in horror as cities across the globe started getting hit by falling debris. One Vorax ship, badly damaged in the battle, lost control and dropped toward Central Africa. Keo saw it come down. It was massive, larger than Mount Kilimanjaro. It hit with a blast that flattened forests, melted rivers, and erased hundreds of towns. Millions were gone in seconds. The galaxy's war had arrived, and Earth wasn't even part of it. At first, the governments of Earth tried to send messages, warnings, requests to take the battle somewhere else. Earth was neutral. Earth was not involved. But no one answered. The two alien factions, Vorax and Zorvanid, didn't care. To them, Earth was just another rock in space, nothing more than background to their 1,000-year-old war. But to humans, this was their home. In orbit, Earth's defense satellites were destroyed like toys. The International Space Station was shattered by a glancing missile. Pieces of it rained down on South America. No one had time to understand what was happening. In Washington, the president was rushed into a bunker. In China, generals took control of emergency command systems. Across Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Americas, panic spread faster than the firestorms caused by falling debris. Then came the real horror. From the wreck of the Vorax ship in Africa, things started crawling out. They were not machines. They were living, tall, thin creatures with 6 legs and armored skin. Their heads were covered in spikes, and their mouths dripped acid. They moved fast for tanks or jets to follow. They began killing everything nearby. People, animals, machines. They didn't stop. A satellite image showed thousands of them spreading like insects from the wreckage site. They were not just here to fight, they were here to feed. In New York, scientists tried to make sense of the data. One of them, Dr. Lynn Ferris, stared at the heat maps and said, "They're not attacking strategic points. They're going for high population zones. They're hunting." Another voice in the room whispered, "They don't even know we're sentient." In space, the battle raged on. Neither side cared that Earth was dying below them. The Vorax and the Zorvani continued to fire, fight, and fall. Their war had spilled onto a world they didn't recognize as important. They didn't know humans. They didn't understand what they had done. But they would, in the days that followed. Earth changed. A summit was held underground in a NATO bunker beneath Iceland. It was the only place shielded from orbital scans. Presidents, prime ministers, generals, and scientists gathered. They looked at the death toll. Over 42 million people had died in the first 2 days. Africa, Japan, India, South America, parts of Europe. Gone or burning. The Vorax ship crash alone had caused mass extinction across 4 countries. The question in the room was simple. What do we do? Some leaders said Earth should surrender, send a message to the alien fleets asking for mercy. Others said there was no point. They don't even see us. One general said, "We are ants caught under their boots." But one voice, calm, cold, and firm, cut through the argument. Admiral Stavros Cole, commander of the Orbital Defense Initiative, stood up. "They brought their war to our backyard," he said. "They thought we'd break. They thought we'd scream." He turned toward the live feeds showing burning cities and the feeding Vorax. "But they don't know what we are. They don't know we don't give up." Everyone stared at him. He pressed a button on his tablet and brought up a file with black letters, Project Black Hammer. "Activate it," he said. An old scientist in the corner gasped. "That project was banned by the UN after the Europa tests. It's too unstable," Good Stavros said. "That means it might be strong enough." The room fell silent. Project Black Hammer had been Earth's darkest researcher weapons program designed not to fight human enemies, but extraterrestrial ones. It was created in secret after strange signals were detected near the Oort cloud 2 decades ago. Built in the shadows, funded by fear, then buried because it was too dangerous. Now it was Earth's only hope. Stavros continued. "Don't have the tech. We don't have the numbers. But we have desperation. We have rage. We have something neither the Zorvani nor the Vorax will ever understand." Someone asked, "What's that?" He answered, "We fight like we've got nothing to lose." The orders were sent. Across the globe, engineers dug up hidden blueprints. Scientists reactivated hidden labs. Orbital platforms long thought abandoned came online. Drones lifted off. Military satellites blinked back to life with upgraded firewalls and new weapons. Earth wasn't ready for this war, but now it was in it. And if the aliens thought they could keep using Earth as their battlefield, they would learn a lesson written. In blood and steel, in space, a Vorax destroyer drifted too low. It was hit by an Earth-based kinetic rod fired from Alaska. A rod of tungsten traveling at Mach 10 punched a hole through the ship's reactor. It exploded. The humans watching it cheered for the first time in days. They had made their first kill, and it wouldn't be the last. Far above, a Zorvani fleet commander watched the Earth from orbit. Yes, he saw the destruction. He saw the humans fighting back. He turned to his lieutenant and said something in his native tongue that translated loosely to, "Strange, the primitives are fighting." Then he added, "Perhaps they are more dangerous than we thought." Lieutenant asked, "Should we adjust our plan?" The commander paused. "No, we finish our mission. Earth is a resource, not a threat." He was wrong. Back on Earth, a child named Kyo stared at the stars. His family was gone. His city was ash. But he survived, and in his small hand he clutched a strange alien device he had found in the ruins, still blinking with blue light. He didn't know what it was, but soon the galaxy would, because Earth was not done. The galaxy's war wasn't ours, till they attacked Earth. Now it was personal. A storm raged across the Atlantic, not a natural one. This one came from orbit debris. From shattered alien ships rained like glowing steel meteors. The ocean hissed and boiled where they struck. Thousands of satellites had been destroyed. Communications were breaking down. Entire networks fell silent, but deep under the surface of Greenland, in a hidden bunker powered by its own nuclear core, the last unbroken command network stayed online. Inside, the world's leaders were staring at a holographic map of Earth. Red zones marked the impact sites. Whole countries were gone. Others were falling to chaos. But this meeting wasn't about loss. It was about survival. President Dalton of the North American Union leaned forward, his voice low. "We've lost 48 million, and the numbers keep rising." Prime Minister Chowdhury of the South Asian Alliance spoke next. "Can't wait anymore. The aliens don't see us as equals. They treat us like insects. Earth will burn. If we don't act now..." General Serrano of the European Armed Council slammed her fist on the table. "Then it's time we stop acting like we're separate nations." Silence fell. No one disagreed. The decision was made. On that day, Earth became one world, one force. The Earth Defense Command, EDC, was born. Orders spread fast. Every military around the globe, armies, navies, air forces, even private defense corporations merged into a single war machine. Engineers from Tokyo linked up with machinists in Germany. American satellites reconnected with Indian orbital systems. African drone companies shared their stealth tech with Brazilian aerospace labs. In bunkers, hidden labs and deep-sea bases, old programs were brought back online. Weapons that had been shelved for being too dangerous or too unstable were activated. AI systems were unshackled. Mechs, drones, exosuits, things once used only in simulations were loaded for war. The rules were gone. Earth was fighting to survive in a secret vault under Antarctica. Scientists opened Vault 7, codename Chimera. Inside were the plans for human alien. Hybrid tech blueprints pulled from crashed probes and ancient signals decoded decades earlier. This was black-level science. Forbidden. Lethal. But now, it was needed. Meanwhile, across the skies, Earth's resistance began to show. A small fleet of Zorvani ships entered low orbit over the Pacific. They began scanning Earth's oceans for core heat signatures, preparing to melt parts of the crust and harvest minerals. But EDC forces were ready. 6 human stealth bombers, cloaked in new adaptive skin made from alien materials, rose from underwater. Hangars near Hawaii, they flew silently toward the fleet. Each carried one weapon, an electromagnetic burst torpedo, coded to trigger when near exotic energy fields. They got close, too close, and then, boom, 3 Zorvani ships fell from the sky like broken bones, the remaining 2 scattered, unprepared for the human trickery. Humanity had scored its second win, but Earth wasn't just fighting back. It was watching, learning. Every alien ship that fell was stripped, studied, reverse-engineered. Alien metal, stronger than titanium but lighter than air, was turned into armor plating. Plasma cores became new energy sources. Alien AI fragments were repurposed into guidance systems for Earth's new space weapons. But even as the EDC made progress, darker truths emerged. In Cairo, a small team of human scouts entered the Vorax crash zone. They found not just wreckage, but cages holding human survivors. Inside were children. Elderly, wounded all alive, barely, covered in strange alien tags, being studied, experimented on. One of the scouts, Lieutenant Rayla Kin, recorded what? She saw. Her voice shook in the transmission. They're using us like lab rats. The Vorax, they're harvesting us, testing us. And they've been doing it longer than we thought. This wasn't an accident. Earth was chosen. The transmission shocked the world. The people demanded justice. The EDC command authorized full retaliation. Earth was no longer asking questions. Earth was hunting answers. In space, a new signal was detected. It wasn't from Earth. It came from a far-off moon orbiting Jupiter, a Zorvani communications hub hidden beneath the ice. The EDC acted fast. Operation Frost Strike was launched. A team of 27 elite Marines, chosen from every continent, were dropped onto Europa's surface. In silence, their target, destroy the Zorvani, relay before more reinforcements could be summoned. The battle was brutal. Alien drones burst from beneath the ice. The humans used thermal blades and magnetic rifles. Blood froze midair. Explosions shattered the frozen lakes. Of the 27, only 11 survived. But they completed the mission. The relay was destroyed, and in its data core, humans found something terrifying. Earth wasn't the only target. The Zorvani were planning to turn the sun into a fuel star. Every planet in the system would be consumed. The war had changed. Humanity wasn't just fighting for survival. It was fighting to stop the extinction of the entire solar system. Back on Earth, a massive signal pulse hit the planet's surface. It came from a Zorvani flagship. The message was in every language, every frequency. It said, "Surrender and be processed. Resistance is failure. You are not our enemy, you are a resource." Earth didn't reply. Instead, Admiral Stavros Cole stood before the first full assembly of EDC command. His voice was recorded, broadcast, and played in every major city, colony, and outpost. "This is not the first time humans have faced extinction," he said, "but it will be the last time anyone underestimates Earth." He raised his hand. Behind him, a screen showed the new fleet, 200 human warships, armored with alien tech, armed with new weapons, and ready to launch from the moon. We didn't start this war. But we're going to finish it. The crowd roared in the shadows. Engineers worked on something darker, the Titan protocols, massive, star-killing weapons, planet burners, forbidden tech. Earth wasn't ready before, but now. Earth was becoming something else, something terrifying. And in the blackness of space, the alien empires watched, and finally, for the first time, he began to worry, because Earth had united, and now Earth was angry. The Zorvani scout ship was quiet, silent as death. It moved slowly through the orbit of Jupiter, hidden in the magnetic storms and radiation fields. The alien vessel, shaped like a giant crescent blade, was scanning the moons looking for signs of life, fuel, or resistance. They didn't expect trouble. Earth was supposed to be broken by now, scattered weak. They were wrong inside the ship. The Zorvani commander clicked his mandibles and studied a hologram of Europa. Primitive world, he said in his language. We will strip it bare once the main fleet arrives. The pilot hissed. No signs of movement. Earthlings have no presence here. They were wrong again. At that moment, the Zorvani ship entered. A narrow gravitational corridor near Ganymede. All systems read normal. Nothing appeared unusual. Then everything changed. A sudden burst of energy hit them sharp. It's cold and silent. It wasn't a weapon. It was a signal, a code, a fake distress beacon. The aliens paused. The commander leaned forward. Vorax. Pilot shook its spiny head. Human? A trick? The commander smiled. No. A call for help. Let us investigate. We will destroy whatever sent it. It was the last mistake he ever made. 10,000 kilometers away, hidden deep in Ganymede's ice crust, Earth's first stealth fleet was waiting. 12 warships. No names, only call signs. Painted in black solar-absorbing material. Silent engines. No transmissions. Their orders: wait, lure, strike. Inside the lead ship, call sign Spectre 1. Captain Eliza Grant stared at the blinking dot on her screen. Target entering kill zone, her AI whispered. Eliza didn't blink. Confirm ID? The AI responded. Zorvani scout vessel. Class 3. Light armor. High scan capability. No escort. Eliza leaned back, calm. Time to teach them Earth is not soft. She tapped a single button. 12 ships lit up, in perfect silence. The human ships rose from Ganymede's surface like shadows from a frozen grave. They moved fast, too fast for the alien sensors. They circled the scout ship like wolves around. A stag. The Zorvani never saw it coming. The first torpedo hit their main thruster. The second hit there. The third drilled through the hull, using alien metal repurposed by Earth scientists sharp enough to slice through Zorvani alloy. Inside, the alien ship alarms blared. The commander shouted for countermeasures, for drones, for escape. Nothing worked. One by one, the systems failed. Their shields flickered, their guns jammed, their engines burned. They were caught, trapped, and now they were dying. A final volley ended it. The scout ship exploded in complete silence. The first Zorvani kill by Earth's hand. And it wasn't even close. On Earth, the news hit fast. A coded message from Spectre 1 was received, decrypted, and relayed to every EDC command post. Target neutralized. 0 losses. Debrief begins. Cheers echoed in bunkers, bases, and cities. People clapped, shouted, cried. For the first time since, the war began. This wasn't just surviving. Earth was fighting back and winning. But the joy didn't last long. Inside the wreck of the Zorvani scout ship recovery teams found something terrifying. Not weapons. Not tech.maps. Detailed planetary invasion. Maps, millions of them. From other worlds, the Zorvani weren't just at war with Earth. They had wiped out hundreds of species, thousands of planets. Entire civilizations turned to ash and Savela. And Earth, it was just next on the list. Admiral Stavros Cole stared at the map wall in the EDC war room. It stretched across 10 meters, showing every planet the Zorvani had destroyed. His jaw tightened. They don't even remember the names of the ones they've erased, he muttered. Dr. Lynn Ferris, the lead science advisor, stood beside him. That scout ship wasn't alone. There are more. Hundreds. Scanning, tracking, hunting. Stavros nodded. Then we give them more than they bargained for. He turned to the command staff. Begin Operation Firethorn. Back near Jupiter. EDC stealth ships began dropping beacon pods. Each one emitted the same fake distress signal designed to mimic Zorvani emergency codes. Trap. A deadly one in the next week. 5 more Zorvani scouts entered the kill zone. All 5 were destroyed, but Earth paid a price. On the 6th trap, one of the human stealth ships, Spectre 6, was hit by a self-destruct drone hidden inside the alien. Wreck the ship was lost. 19 officers dead. Back on Earth, their names were whispered, honored, remembered. They were the first. True soldiers in the war humanity never asked for. But the trap at Jupiter had done more than kill scouts. It had sent a message to the Vora XX. To the Zorvani. To the entire galaxy. Earth fights back. Earth strikes first. Earth is learning, and worse, Earth is adapting. In deep space, aboard the Zorvani command ship Voluntar, the High Commander received the report. He stared at the images, his scout ships burning, his drones destroyed. He clicked his clawed fingers and spoke slowly. They have changed. The others in the command circle hissed in confusion. Primitive planet. Low advancement. No fleet strength. No gravity weapons. They cannot win. He stared at the screen, but they are unpredictable. Unclean. Violent. Like nothing we've encountered before. What do we do? Another asked. He paused. Send 10 more scouts. If they destroy those 2, then we wipe the planet. Meant it. But Earth wasn't afraid anymore, because the humans had tasted victory. And now they wanted more. The alien said it came in peace. Its body shimmered with silver armor. Its voice was soft, strange, flowing like music, but translated instantly by machines. It floated above the UN crisis chamber in Geneva, surrounded by Earth's top leaders. Diplomats, generals, and scientists. I am Envoy Zurich of the Zorvani High Council, it said. We regret the damage to your planet. We offer peace, protection, and alliance. The room fell quiet. President Dalton of the North American Union leaned forward. Why now? I come to us after so much destruction. Gyrick's bright blue eyes did not blink. Because your species shows potential. You resist. That is rare and useful. Some in the room looked hopeful. Earth was desperate. If one side of this alien war offered peace, maybe the killing could stop. Maybe there was a way out. Gyrick raised one glowing hand. A map appeared in the air-earth, the solar system, surrounding alien routes. Let us assist. Let us protect. This sector from the Vorox. We will gift your kind the tools to survive. A few clapped. Others looked unsure. But in the control room above, deep in the surveillance chamber, something terrible was happening. Luna Station's AI Lunax had just completed a hidden scan of Gyrick's body using layered spectrum pulses. What it found was horrifying. The message came in fast. A direct code to General Serrano and Admiral Stavros Cole. Gyrick is not diplomatic unit. IT is infiltrator. Class, high violence subtype. Morphing cell structure confirmed. Immediate danger. Inside. The Geneva chamber, Gyrick's smile stretched too wide. Then its body rippled, shifted. Armor peeled back. Sharp limbs emerged. Screams filled the room. In seconds. The creature transformed into a towering war form, covered in jagged spikes. Its arms like blades. Its mouth glowing with plasma heat. 2 guards died before they could raise their weapons. Others fired blindly. But Gyrick was fast. Strong. Alien. And it was never here for peace. Outside, Earth's orbital systems locked on. Lunax activated the orbital cannons hidden above Switzerland. In 10 seconds, A kinetic rod was launched from a stealth satellite. It punched through the ceiling of the UN chamber and turned Gyrick into molten ash. The building collapsed. Over 200 people were killed, including several world leaders, but the world had learned the truth. The Zorvani were not allies. They were predators, just more patient than the Vorax. A message came through the wreckage, hijacking every screen, speaker, and satellite feed. It was from the real Zorvani. High command, cold, robotic, uncaring. Deception was required. Your kind must be studied before conversion. You are not allies. You are assets. Earth will be processed. The transmission ended. Earth's rage ignited. Within hours, EDC Command declared Zorvani forces hostile. All contact was banned. All operations moved to high alert. The fake gifts they offered were rescanned hidden beacons, codeworms, and tracking devices were embedded inside. Earth had come seconds from surrendering to death. Disguised as kindness, Stotstow stood before the EDC High Council. They used our hope against us. We will never let that happen again. Around him, engineers activated long-abandoned space defense platforms. Nuclear silos were converted to plasma launchers. Quantum sensors were installed to detect any cloaked infiltration attempts. Humanity was preparing for the long war. But something else was happening too. The betrayal had united Earth even more. Civilians volunteered in the millions. Factories ran day and night. Mars colonies sent back their entire stock of rare minerals. Humanity wasn't just building ships now. They were building vengeance in the darkness of space. The Zorvani fleet waited. They didn't attack yet. They watched, studied, but inside their databanks, new orders were sent. Earth must be eliminated before full resistance matures. Send assimilation vessels. Begin planetary collapse protocol within 47 cycles. They were coming, and they had no idea that Earth was already ahead of them. In a secret EDC lab under the Pacific Ocean, a new kind of human weapon was being tested. Not a ship, not a gun, a pilot. Strapped into a neural frame, covered in alien tech armor, a young woman opened her eyes. Her name was Nova Real, a test subject enhanced with neural implants and bonded with Vorax biotech salvaged from the crash. In Africa, her heartbeat synced with the prototype warframe around her. System online. She whispered from a glass wall. Scientists and generals watched in awe. If she worked, Earth would no longer fight with just machines. Earth would send living weapons into space. The next chapter of war had begun. The Zorvani thought they tricked Earth. But they had only lit a fire they couldn't put out, because now, Earth knew both alien factions were liars. Earth knew the truth, and Earth was done talking. The war changed after Geneva. Earth had been tricked, lied to, attacked from orbit and then from the inside. The Zorvani pretended to bring peace, but they brought betrayal and the Vorax. They never pretended at all. They had come to kill and feed. Now, Earth stopped defending. Earth started hunting high above Mars. 30 Zorvani ships gathered. They hovered like gods, dark and silent, recharging their plasma cores near the ancient red cliffs. The crews were calm. Earth posed. No threat. Their scans showed no movement, no warships, no satellites, just silence. But the silence was the trap. Deep beneath the Martian surface, inside a hidden lava tube near Olympus Mons, 12 human stealth warships waited. They had no names, only code numbers. Phantom 1 through Phantom 12. Sleek black holes, no external lights. Coated in alien thermal canceling alloys. Captain Arden Vale of Phantom 1 watched from his command chair. His eyes locked on the holographic display 30, glowing red enemy markers. Targets acquired, his AI whispered. No movement, no scan detection. Confirm strike? Arden answered without hesitation. Fire in the sky above Mars. Hell arrived. The first wave of torpedoes were crystallized antimatter warheads and stable. illegal under every Earth treaty but built anyway, forged in underground labs in Iceland, powered by stolen alien plasma cores. They moved fast, too fast. The first Zorvani ship exploded from the inside out, its core torn apart, venting white fire and alien blood into space. The others tried to respond. Too late. For more. Ships were destroyed in seconds. The humans had hacked Zorvani's sensors to delay response time by just 3 seconds. It was enough. Panic spread. Zorvani's ships scattered, trying to escape, but the Phantoms were faster, more agile, built to kill with one goal: no survivors. Under 4 minutes, 27 alien ships were gone. 3 escaped damaged, limping. And behind them, Mars remained untouched, but now silent. The footage was sent to Earth, a victory. But it wasn't just for morale. It was a message. Humanity had changed. No more begging for peace. No more hoping for mercy. Earth had built new weapons using alien parts, railguns powered by plasma, cores kinetic torpedoes that bent gravity AI piloted, stealth fighters with human emotions coded into targeting logic, and for the first time in history, Earth had warships that could move without fuel using magnetic slipstream engines salvaged from a Vorax scout. The galaxy didn't see it coming. At the edge of Earth's orbit, Vorax fleets began pulling back. Their commanders argued in broken growls and insect-like clicks. The humans are spreading. Unpredictable. Dangerous. We must regroup. But not all agreed. Some Vorax saw the human rage and wanted it believed in it. A few even defected, flying damaged ships toward Earth in a desperate gamble. They were intercepted, not destroyed. Earth scientists dissected the ones who attacked and spoke to the ones who surrendered. That was how the EDC learned about the harvest plan. The Vorax had seeded eggs in the African impact zone. They weren't done feeding. They were just getting started. Earth didn't wait. A fleet was launched. A mix of warships, orbital drop pods, and Black Hammer squads, the most advanced soldiers Earth had ever created. Wearing X-armor made from salvaged Zorvani suits, upgraded with neural thread response implants, the operation was codenamed Scourge Rain. Objective: burn the nests. No survivors. They hit hard. Night turned to day as plasma bombs fell from the sky. The ground cracked and boiled. Any remaining Vorax creatures were hunted through the ash by drone teams and flame bots. No one cried for them, because Earth had seen what they did in Cairo, in Kinshasa, in Johannesburg. They didn't deserve mercy. Back in orbit, the human fleet expanded. Dozens of new ships. Smarter AIs, faster drives. And in the center of it, all floating above Earth in high geosync orbit, was a new command vessel. Had a name. USS Hellstorm? The first of the Titan-class dreadnoughts. Built in secret from scavenged alien metals. Powered by a twin-core fission system enhanced by quantum gravity engines, its main gun could destroy a moon. Inside, Admiral Cole stood at the observation deck, watching the stars. He didn't smile. He didn't speak much anymore. But when his XO asked, "What now, sir?" he answered with only 2 words: "We hunt." Meanwhile, the galaxy was watching. Other species, hidden, quiet, afraid, had picked up human transmissions. Many were shocked. Others were terrified. A few began to hope. Because Earth, the quiet blue world no one respected, had become something new. A force of retaliation. A nightmare in the void. A voice from one alien report read, "They are not like us. They do not break when attacked. They evolve quickly. Violently, without hesitation. Earth is no longer prey. Earth is a predator." And so, the war changed again.
Oh.
This time not because the aliens wanted it, but because the humans did. And they were just getting started. The fortress drifted in the dark void between 2 dying stars. It was called Carthax Stationa, floating Zorvani war hub, carved from asteroid stone, and layered in shields strong enough to survive a supernova. Inside, Zorvani warlords gathered. In high towers of glowing crystal, discussing Earth like it was still weak. They resist, one hissed, adjusting his shimmering cloak. But resistance is meaningless. Earth has no empire, no colonies, it will fall. Another laughed voice, like crushed glass. Let them rage. Let them scream. In 10 cycles, they will burn. They didn't know. They hadn't seen what Earth had become, far below. Buried inside the asteroid shell, alarms began to blink. The station's AI detected something strange. Signal, faint, flickering. Not Vorax, not Zorvani. Something human. It was already too late. The station's outer defense grid collapsed in seconds. Human warships decloaked from hyperspace, a full stealth squadron of Earth's best, Phantom-class corvettes, Spectre drones, and the newly deployed Ghost. Frigates, and behind them, leading the strike, came Nova Realert's first hybrid pilot, wrapped in her alien-human neural armor, standing inside her personal strike pod named Rathburn. She didn't wait. She didn't talk. She dove straight into the belly of the fortress, slicing through holes, dropping EMP blades, and releasing smart drones armed with antimatter dust. Zorvani warriors tried to fight back. Their plasma weapons hissed and scorched steel, but Nova was faster. Her mind moved with the ship. Her thoughts became weapons. Inside 5 minutes, half the station was on fire. The Zorvani screamed for help. None came. Nova opened her comms and transmitted a single word to Earth. Storm complete. Then she activated the core overload. Carthax. Station exploded, burning both stars around it into collapsing embers. Back on Earth, the images were broadcast to every screen, every dome, every colony. A Zorvani fortress destroyed. By humans alone, it sent shockwaves through the galaxy. In hidden systems, other alien races watched quietly. Some whispered, "The humans have grown teeth." Others feared something worse. The humans aren't defending anymore. They're hunting. They were right, because this wasn't war anymore. This was vengeance in deep space. The Vorax Queen watched the footage. Her spiny crown tilted as the fireball from Carthax lit the void. She clicked her talons on the cold floor. Unnatural. She muttered, "They adapt too fast. Earth should have fallen." Her advisors hissed in agreement. One of them played a recording from a destroyed scout. Drone a video of human marines storming a Zorvani drop cruiser, yelling through the fire. "This is for Nairobi, for Cairo, for Geneva." Queen's claws twitched. Emotion. Rage. It strengthens them. Another Vorax commander muttered. "They are now more dangerous than the Zorvani." The Queen nodded once. "Retreat. For now, we must plan again." Even the predators were running now. But these Zorvani. High Command was not so wise. They gathered in their last strongholds, Warian Prime, a moon-sized battle station orbiting a black star. Hundreds of ships protected it. Shields surrounded it. They still believed Earth could be wiped out with one final strike. They activated their ultimate weapon, Project Starfold of Gravity. Device strong enough to collapse a planet's core. They aimed it at Earth, but the moment it powered up, a warning blinked across every system. Unauthorized presence detected. Someone was inside the station. Already dozens of human sleeper agents, hidden for months, rose from false walls, storage crates, and data cores. They activated sabotage codes. They unleashed viral logic bombs. And then, the USS Hellstorm arrived. It punched out of slipspace like a god of vengeance, twin railguns burning blue. Its command AI already targeting weak spots in the stations. Frame. Admiral Cole stood at the bridge. He didn't give a speech, he simply said, "Fire." The railgun screamed. Earth's mightiest ship cracked Zarian Prime open like a rotten egg. Nuclear flame lit the dark star's orbit. Zorvani ships scattered, screaming into the void. The final battle was coming. But now, the enemy understood something terrifying. They were no longer fighting a backwater species. They were fighting humanity. Enraged. And Earth didn't want peace anymore. Earth wanted to finish what had started, because they brought their war to Earth. And now Earth was bringing it back. The galaxy had changed. It no longer feared the Vorax. It no longer bowed to the Zorvani. Now it feared Earth in less than one standard year. Humans had gone from a fractured planet to a united war machine, from defending burned cities to vaporizing moons. The other empires called it impossible. Some thought it was a trick. Others simply watched in silence, hoping Earth's rage didn't turn toward them next. But deep in the dark systems beyond the Helix Nebula, a message spread like wildfire. 3 words. Simple, cold. Final Earth is coming. In orbit around Kesrock 4, a neutral trading hub once used by hundreds of alien species. The station's AI picked up dozens of unknown energy spikes approaching fast. The commander, an old merchant prince named Valzy, opened his comes. What fleet dares violate neutral space? The reply was not in Zorvani. It's not in Vora XX. It was in English. This is the Earth's Defense Command. Stand down and evacuate. Zorvani weapons detected. This station is compromised. Valzir laughed. You have no authority here, human. He didn't laugh long. Seconds later, 20 Earth ships decloaked just outside the station perimeter. Each one armed with rail cannons and plasma sides stolen from the wreckage of Vorax destroyers. The station tried to raise its shields. Too late. In 60 seconds. It was gone. Not one human life lost. Only one Earth transmission was sent afterward. We don't ask. We warn. Once. That day was recorded across 5 systems. It was the day Earth became the threat. Force no longer reacting, but acting first. A species with no empire, no ancient fleets, unmatched willpower, and vengeance in every shot. Back in Earth's orbit, something massive began construction. Project Graham. It wasn't a weapon. It was worse. A living station. Grown from hybrid biotech, designed to think, evolve, and control an entire human armada with neural pulses. A machine that could lead fleets and feel rage. At its core sat Nova Ryal, now permanently fused with a Gravemind interface. She no longer wore armor. She was the weapon. She had stopped speaking, but her thoughts echoed across Earth's defense net like thunder. She wanted one thing, the end of the Zorvani, and Gravemind would deliver it. Meanwhile, on the dark edge of the galaxy, a secret meeting took place. 6 alien races, each one older than humanity, each one scarred by the Zorvani or Vorax. None had helped Earth before. Now, they were afraid. Earth grows too fast, one said. They don't stop, said another. They don't follow rules. They don't ask permission. They burned a sun to catch a Vorax hive fleet, whispered a third. They don't just survive, they take over. Silence. Then one voice said something no one wanted to hear. We waited too long. Earth is not just resisting. Earth is winning. And now it might be unstoppable. In a hidden system, the last Zorvani dreadnoughts gathered, scarred, fewer than before. Their High Council tried to plan. One of their leaders whispered, "What is Earth?" Another answered, "A mistake." But deep in their central database, an old file was playing on repeat, leaked from a hacked Earth War drone recovered during the Battle of Saturn's Rings. A human voice. Admiral Stavos Cole. You thought we'd cry? You thought we'd beg? But Earth doesn't kneel. Earth doesn't forget. And Earth doesn't stop. Until it's over. The message ended. The Zorvani stared in silence. One finally said we should have destroyed them before they learned to fight. Another whispered, now it's too late, 'cause in every corner of space, stations burned, fleets vanished, old powers crumbled, and all the stars were whispering the same thing. Earth is no longer the battlefield. Earth is the storm. They tried everything. The Vorax swarmed with their final hive armies, sending billions of soldiers crawling from their world ships, screaming across space like angry insects. The Zorvani unleashed their last great weapon, Starfold Omega, a massive gravity cannon designed to implode Earth's sun from across the system. They fired it. It never reached Earth, because Earth wasn't there. The entire solar system had been. Surrounded by a shield net built from hijacked Zorvani tech and powered by Gravemind's neural lattice. Any high-energy weapon was swallowed whole, redirected, and fired back. The moment Starfold Omega launched, Gravemind twisted space, redirected the beam. and sent it screaming back to the Zorvani stronghold. It hit. A black star imploded. A planet-sized. Base was erased. The Zorvanes screamed. And then they went silent. Forever, the Vorax, they came in waves. Ships built of bone and metal, driven by instinct and rage. They aimed to devour what was left of Earth's resistance, but Earth wasn't resisting anymore. Earth had become the hunter. Nova Real no longer spoke. Her body had become pure war code, linked to Gravemind, orbiting Saturn in a station made of living metal. She saw the Vorax swarm coming, and she smiled. Gravemind activated. Project Sol Federa, forbidden solar weapon that used miniaturized stars inside warheads. When dropped, they created instant suns. Vaporizing anything nearby, the Vorax had no shields for that. 15 swarm fleets were destroyed in 1 hour. Those that survived tried to scatter. But Earth didn't allow survivors anymore. Not after Nairobi, not after Geneva, not after the betrayal. On the far side of the galaxy, neutral systems began transmitting peace offers to Earth. Treaties, gifts, please. But no one from Earth replied. Admiral Stavros Cole was gone. Disappeared after Hellstorm's last battle. Rumors said he'd chosen exile. Others whispered Gravemind had absorbed his mind and he now was part of Earth's new will. But Earth didn't speak anymore. It simply acted, quietly, efficiently, terrifyingly. And then the galaxy went quiet. The Zorvani were extinct. The Vorax were erased. No more invasions, no more warnings. Earth had won, but it didn't feel like victory. It felt like dominance. The rest of the galaxy watched in silence as Earth's fleets expanded, no longer staying inside their system. New colonies appeared overnight. Entire planets were claimed. Terraformers reshaped alien worlds without asking. Earth wasn't just defending its people now. Earth was spreading, and no one dared to stop them. 1 cycle later, in a distant observation, post on the edge of the Terrian expanse, an old alien scribe named Kelvith wrote in his journal, "We feared the Vorax. We hated the Zorvani, but we understood them. Earth is different. It doesn't just survive. It changes the rules. We asked them for peace once. They answered with silence. Now we wonder what happens when Earth runs out of enemies." Looked at the stars and trembled. Back on the moon, deep inside a vault beneath Mare Tranquillitatis, a small blue light blinked to life, a signal, a message from outside the galaxy. Unknown language, unknown origin, unknown intent. Gravemind detected it instantly, translated it, evaluated it, and then responded with a single Earth-standard word. Ready, because the galaxy's war was over. But the universe had just begun to meet humanity, and it would never be the same again.